Moving on now to another quarterback who has just about nothing to work with, and that's Aaron Rodgers. Now, you guys know, as a leader, heck, as a guy, I'm not a fan of Aaron Rodgers in the slightest. But as a quarterback, he's one of the greatest talents we've ever seen. He is, without question, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the 10 greatest players who's ever played the position. I've always said the issue with Aaron is his lack of intangibles. I think has cost him an opportunity to win some Super Bowls. But yesterday in Minnesota, obviously everybody knows Davante Adams is gone. I think Aaron played part in kind of scaring Davante Adams off from Green Bay to Vegas to play with Derek Carr. But against the Minnesota Vikings, Aaron Rodgers, okay completion percentage, under 200 yards, no touchdowns, one interception, had a QBR of 16. His QBR is 0 to 100. He had a QBR of 16. This was, I think, about as predictable a game as you could possibly have. Minnesota with a new coach, Kevin O'Connell, who I believe is going to be the coach of the year this year. Kirk Cousins gets an offensive head coach who runs the West Coast offense. And what do we know about the West Coast? Those who run it right, run the football. Dalvin Cook was good. That Madison kid, man, he is physical. That dude loves contact, right? Madison was good. And the Jet man went off. Justin Jefferson. Yesterday against the Green Bay Packers, 9 catches for $184 and 2 touchdowns. I mean, it was just, and he's going against one of the best corners in football, Jair Alexander, for the Packers. Just torched him. Okay, Justin Jefferson's one of the 5 best receivers in football. I've been saying that since the middle of last year. He is special. The fact that Joe Burrow had him and Jamar Chase in college ain't even fair. Okay, this guy's fantastic. Adam Thielen was a little quiet, but again, it was the Justin Jefferson show. That game last night was predictable. Aaron Rodgers with the beat-up offensive line, when his best receivers are Sammy Watkins, okay, Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, and Randall Cobb. There's only so much you can do with that. Now, here's my criticism of Aaron Rodgers, and this is what I've always got on him about. We all saw first play of the game for the Packers. Aaron drops back, throws a beautiful deep ball. He's got Christian Watson wide open down the field, and he drops what would have been a 75-yard touchdown. And they pan to Aaron. The Fox cameras pan to Aaron. Just blowing. Aaron even said after the game, my patience is running thin. That is my issue. Do I blame Aaron for being maybe even a little ticked off at Christian Watson, even him being a rookie? Sure. Yeah, I mean, listen, we're not going to get a whole lot of wide open looks. You darn sure don't get those multiple of those looks in a game against a great defense, which Minnesota is. You got to hit those. You got to convert those against a team that is better than you. I get Aaron for being frustrated, but making it public, just dropping his head, exhale, dissing his receivers to the media after the game, my patience is running thin. That has been my issue with Aaron Rodgers. I will defend him all day, every day, at least in the regular season. The postseason, he's consistently come up short. But in the regular season, with Matt LaFleur as your head coach, with a bad offensive line, with 2 rookies at wide receiver, with an old Randall Cobb at wide receiver. I mean, Robert Tonyan. I mean, what are we talking about here, guys? My issue is throws the ball to a guy wide open, doesn't score. You see the body language. He did not throw to Christian Watson until the 4th quarter. This is a trend with Aaron. In the playoff loss to San Francisco, first quarter, 7-0 Packers. Things are looking good. They're driving again. He throws a pass to Mercedes Lewis. Good dude, veteran, tight end, been around the league for a while. Mercedes Lewis in, 15, 20-degree weather. I mean, the football feels like a rock. Carries the ball and fumbles. Aaron stopped throwing him the ball. I mean, we saw in that playoff game, he threw to 2 guys, Davante Adams and Aaron Jones. Well, the problem is Aaron Jones is a running back. There's only so many passes you can throw him and get big plays out of it. You can hit him on the check downs, but you can't just run him on a wheel route every play. And obviously, Davante Adams is no longer a Packer. As a matter of fact, Davante Adams yesterday had more receiving yards by himself than any of the Packers receivers had yesterday. I think Devontae had like about 140-something yards. Packers had about 120. So clearly the Green Bay is missing a guy who very well might be the best receiver in football. But this is a 9-win football team. Their defense is excellent. They've got plenty of playmakers. They've got Jair Alexander. They've got Preston Smith and Rashawn Gary. They've got playmakers on that side of the ball. That can only take you so far. They've got a good running game. I thought A.J. Dillon was good last night. Aaron Jones had his moments. You do still have Aaron Rodgers. But in a team in Minnesota, obviously Minnesota does not have the edge at quarterback. Like Kirk Cousins, he's not Aaron Rodgers. But they've got the edge in the running game, in the offensive line, certainly in the skill position players, wide receiver, tight end. Irv Smith is a good player. And defensively, I think they're just a little better than Green Bay. I think their pass rush is better. And I certainly, even after one game, think they have the advantage at head coach with Kevin O'Connell over Matt LaFleur. And keep in mind, McVay's assistants usually pan out. Okay? Even in this short amount of time. Zach Taylor, coach of the Bengals, got to a Super Bowl. Okay, Brandon Staley, who I'm not that high on, but he took this Chargers team from, what were they, 7 wins to 9 wins, right? There's a steady improvement. And then Kevin O'Connell, I believe, with this stacked roster in Minnesota, this is a 12-win team. They're going to win the AFC North, and he's going to win Coach of the Year. And I think Minnesota's going to win a playoff game. That's what I think is going to happen. They could get to the NFC Championship game. I'm not ruling it out, especially with how the Niners have looked. It's only week 1, obviously. Don't want to have overreaction Monday. But to me, that feels like what these teams are going to be like this season. Green Bay has their moments defensively. They can run the football. Aaron will make the occasional great throw. But as simply as I can possibly put it, they don't have as many good players as the Minnesota Vikings do. That's what it comes down to. And that's why I picked the Vikings before the season to win the NFC North. Something else, too, that I think is interesting. Kirk Cousins' record against Aaron Rodgers, 5-3-1. He's got a winning record against Aaron Rodgers. I've always said, Kirk Cousins, every time he plays the Packers, whatever it is, he always plays well. Thanks so much for watching the show on YouTube. Be sure to click that big red subscribe button and go check out the other clips and full shows of Carving It Up Live. Have a blessed day.